I'm excited to be here with Dr. Leslie Eggett, who is the Director of Program Supports at the Summit School. Dr. Eggett is here to talk with us about benchmark testing and how it can help your child as they return to school, especially after this year with students learning in many different ways and in many different environments. Welcome.
Thank you, Elizabeth. It's nice to be here and it's nice to have you at the Summit School.
Thank you. So, can you tell us a bit more about what benchmarking is?
Sure. Benchmarking is evaluating or assessing children on grade level to see where they are compared to other children in their grade. So benchmarking typically occurs in the subjects of reading and math. You can also do it in writing. So basically you can test individually or you can test as a group, and we're able to see where kids fall according to a national percentile in the areas of reading, vocabulary, reading comprehension, silent reading fluency, oral reading fluency, and then some aspects of mathematics as well, which would be number sense fluency, mental computation with math, as well as understanding word problems and graphing and measurement and things like that. So it's a really great measure to use to see where your child is falling compared to other children in their grade level.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
So as a parent, how do I know if something like this could benefit my child?
So it's really interesting. This past year has been very unprecedented as far as education goes. So kids are kind of all over the place. They've been out of the classroom in many instances and not getting the amount of instruction that they had done prior to COVID-19. So, parents might be interested in benchmark testing if they're seeing at home that their child is struggling, if they just want to know for peace of mind, is my child where they should be for their grade level? Because, some parents want to be on top of things and they want to make sure that their child isn't struggling in the classroom and they want their child to feel competent in the classroom. So it would give them a sense of, is my child doing what they can do, and do I need to get my child some tutoring so that they can feel more confident when they're in the classroom?
Okay, that's helpful. And when is benchmark testing offered?
So benchmark testing is offered year-round. Typically there are 3 windows that kids can be evaluated in. So the first window would be in September, October-ish. And then the second window would be mid-year, probably around December, January, and then again at the end of the year. So you're able to see if the child is making improvements as the year goes on.
Okay, great, thank you.
Sure, and another thing to just mention about benchmark testing, it's another way to see if your child's at risk for any type of difficulty in reading and math.
Okay, wonderful.
Sure.
So can you tell us a little bit about what testing looks like and what the process is like?
Sure, so it varies depending on the child's grade level. For our younger students in kindergarten through grade 1, it's a one-on-one assessment with an evaluator where they're asked questions about reading and math. They might be asked vocabulary terms, they might be asked to solve a question about mathematics, or they could be just asked general kind of receptive language type tasks. As they get older, once they're in second grade, the majority of testing is done on the computer. So it's run through, the platform that we use is Aimsweb Plus, and it's run through TestNav. So a lot of the schools are using TestNav for different types of testing, but we're specifically using Aimsweb Plus. And these assessments aren't all-day assessments. They typically take 1 class period per subject, and the kids log on using a password. They do the reading section and then the math section. And then there is one part of it that is one-on-one with the examiner where they're expected to read out loud 2 passages so that the examiner can record their reading fluency.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
So benchmark testing is something that's offered to the students who attend Summit School. If my student doesn't attend Summit School, how do I schedule? How does the process work?
Okay, so sure, we do offer the benchmark testing through our resource center, and it's simply just scheduling with you, Elizabeth, and then getting on the schedule. So we typically do them in the mornings because children are usually the most fresh in the morning, so we like to get them in around 9 o'clock. To do the assessment, and it takes, to do the reading and the math, it takes about an hour and a half to get the whole thing completed. But yeah, Usually we do them on Fridays, but certainly we could make arrangements to best meet the schedule of, whoever's doing the evaluation and the parents.
Okay, great. So if I sign my child up for benchmark testing and we find that they're well below their grade level, is there any services offered to help with that?
We do have an option to do something called progress monitoring, and what that is it's based on a survey level assessment. So if your child's not performing on grade level, we have the capability to kind of move them backwards to see where their instructional level is. So the benchmarking is always on grade level, so no matter where your child is functioning, you're testing them at their exact grade level. So, you can't, if a child is behind, you're not going to instruct them when the information is too difficult for them. So you're going to need to go back and determine what their instructional level is. So we could do a survey level assessment, and then based on that, we could work in tandem with you and the school to provide, maybe the school's providing some intervention to help support your child, and then we could do some progress monitoring just to kind of make sure that everything is on track and everything is moving forward, so that if you are doing tutoring or they do have an intervention, you're not wasting your time doing something that's not effective for them. So so that definitely is an option.
Okay, great. So once my child has completed their benchmark testing, how do I get my results, or how do they get their results?
Okay, so the nice thing about the Aimsweb Plus platform is that the results are immediate. So as soon as the child is done with testing, the results are available. So typically what happens is I will go through and I'll print out the results and I'll send a PDF to the parents with the results. And then I schedule with them a time where we could do a Google Meet where I can sit down with them and go over the results more specifically and kind of explain what it all means to them.
Okay. Well, Dr. Eggett, thank you so much for being here with us today, and thank you for giving us all of that helpful information. If you are interested in learning more about benchmark testing or scheduling your child for benchmark testing, please feel free to call me, Elizabeth White, at 1-410-798-0005, extension 150. Thank you.